Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We'd love to have you. That group was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 or 7 figure level. Right now, we have we're past like 6,000 members in there, and so if you want to be a part of an awesome community filled with other coaches, consultants, service providers who are doing serious things and making big impacts in the world, then definitely come check out our community. Now, with that being said, I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Alex. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, Extus. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
Awesome. So with that being said, so tell us, what is it that you do?
I'm a confidence whisperer, and that means I help coaches, guides, spiritual entrepreneurs, healers build this naturally magnetic presence that just comes from natural confidence that we build together. And when you build that inside you, you can show it off online and build a sustainable business online.
Okay, and you call it a confidence whisperer?
Yes. Well, I used to call myself a confidence coach, but my client looked at me after, a few sessions, and she said, "You're not a confidence coach. You're a confidence whisperer." So I just took that.
Love it. Awesome. So what got you started on this path?
Right. So this is actually, I don't know how much time we have. There's a whole story for this behind this, because I'm an IT engineer. And I had my career in IT for 11 years. And I was always a very active, very fun-loving and life-loving person. And I had money, I had travels, I had my fun. Everything was okay. And suddenly depression hit me, like almost from day to day. It was only preceded by a few memory blackouts. And I suddenly woke up on a Monday morning, only it was Monday afternoon, and I realized I'm not at work. I'm still in bed. And I have no intention of going to work, and I don't care. And that was the first time in my life, I think, that I didn't care about anything. And I said, wow, something is seriously wrong with me. So I went to the doctors the next day, and I was diagnosed with depression, and it kept me from working for 18 months. So that was my trigger, to change my life. The moment I went back to work without any plan, I just printed out my notice, and I could just quit my job just like that. Because I figured I wasn't passionate about it anymore. And then I did some soul searching. I got a job as a waitress, etc. And I got another job in IT. And I finally thought I found my place. But I got fired from the job, even though it was a perfect job and I was doing an awesome job over there. I got fired by the manager through no fault of my own. And I got so mad at that I decided it's time for a change, and I wanted to become a consultant in IT, and I was afraid. And I learned that there is this thing called the entrepreneur's mindset, and you need to train that before you become an entrepreneur. So you need to have your confidence and resilience. So as soon as I started that, it turned out that I had wanted to be a coach, but I was kind of repressing that inside me, and I finally felt like I was good enough and experienced enough, and I had the tools from the mindset training, and that's how the ball started rolling, and I've been on an absolutely incredible personal development journey ever since. And the reasons why I do confidence coaching for coaches and guides is because I lost all my confidence after starting my business, because it wasn't successful from the beginning. And I went to a really dark place, and it cost me a tremendous amount of work and time to get out of there. It cost me a few months of work, and I realized there's a lot of people who don't have the tools that I have, who don't maybe have the time, they don't know the techniques, they haven't learned them, that will need this kind of help, especially now during the coronavirus and when everybody's going online. So that's how I started doing this confidence whisper thing.
Awesome. So in essence, for you, you said you went to a place when you did such a business, but it wasn't moving fast enough, or things weren't moving, but you kind of lost confidence, and you're like, goodness, like what does it look like to lose confidence? What does that mean?
Well, when you start a business, when you finally find your passion, and get out of depression, and you're suddenly like, oh yes, I can feel again, and I feel like I can do this, and it's my new thing. Then you're very, very excited, and you have these high hopes, and that was me. And I also had a tremendous amount of knowledge, because I read, I study, I learn all the time, and I just assumed I was going to be successful. But I wasn't, and so how I would sometimes, just wake up almost shaking. I was so nervous inside. And most of the time I was thinking about money. So even though I had money, actually, because I had my savings from my previous job, I was still very, very much worried about that. And it was just like a vicious circle. When you lose your confidence, then you cannot show confidently online. If you're not successful, if whatever it is that you're doing online doesn't bring you successes, not just online, like in anything, basically. If you're not getting those successes from whatever it is that you're doing, you lose your motivation. So even though I wanted to help people, I wanted to be a coach, I didn't have many clients. And gradually I started procrastinating. I didn't do my live videos. I didn't post, and I was basically posting for the sake of posting, and I wasn't progressing at all. And just a point in time came when I said, I had to admit to myself, that was the hard part. I think I'm not successful. So when that happens, when you're able to admit to yourself, this is your tipping point, that's when you can move on and take the necessary steps. And that's exactly what I did then.
Mm-hmm. So what were the next steps you took? How did you say, okay, now you took going from a place where it didn't work, and you now said, okay, now I know exactly what I need to do, and you figured it out?
Well, I started to use, so I think I'm very receptive, and when I use mental tools, whatever tools I have, they start to work really, really well, really, really fast for me. And so gradually I stopped using them because everything is going well. So I had to go back to using them every day. I also got some help from coaches and healers to find my blocks, to release them. I got a coach who actually showed me, because I had no idea I was doing energy work. Well, back then I wasn't, but in one of the sessions, she showed up and she was like a total mess. And I said, you cannot coach me when you look like that. I got to fix you. So instead of me devoting her devoting the session to me, I devoted the session to her. And after this session, she looked like as if she had an orgasm. And it was just absolutely crazy. And then she sent me those messages like, Alex, oh, I had menopausal effects on me for the past couple of months, and I was really slacking at work, and I didn't feel like doing anything, and with my husband, etc. And yesterday after a session, I just jumped at my husband and I jumped to work, and I just became so productive. And then she told me, you do energy work. And so I went from that. It just kind of came to me, completely naturally. And I think when the tough times come, this is what really helps me, and this is what really helps my clients. So just removing those blocks, however you call it, energy work, whatever. I don't mind the name. I'm not just going for names. I'm going for whatever works and is effective. And I find these methods are the most effective, and some limiting belief methods as well. So these two, energy, limiting beliefs, just they can work like a charm. They change your reality from minute to minute, basically.
Mm-hmm. So you said with the coach you were working with, when you were working together, you saw something. Now, did you at the time you say you didn't know what it was, what you were doing, and she was the one who told you?
Yes, because I'm very intuitive. So I don't use processes. I have a process in mind, but really, life doesn't go according to plan or process. It's different, because when you talk to people, they will use a word, and I'm always very detailed, and I just tell them, okay, because you use this word here, it tells me this and this and that, and there's a block here that you were completely missing. So we're going to focus on that so that you can achieve whatever it is that you're planning to achieve within the next week. So I just go with the flow, and these solutions, they just come to me, I'm quite open and just open myself to whatever it is that comes, call it inspiration, call it whatever. And so yeah, that was what I did. Yeah, and she told me that was it. So yeah, maybe it's crazy, I don't know.
No, that makes sense. It makes sense. But it's pretty interesting because I realize since I've been doing the show, I meet a lot of different interesting people who have a lot of different perspectives. And that's one of the reasons I like doing the show, because I found that as you go through life, as you go through business, especially as a coach and consultant, we all have like, we try things, right? We're trying one technique and one thing and it's really not working. And we're not sure what do I like, and we keep trying the same thing over and over and over again. But I always try to find different individuals who think differently, who have different perspectives, because I know that at the end of the day, the people who succeed, they're not the ones who just say, hey, here's the one thing, but it's really like, I have a whole set of different tools in my toolbox, and
Yeah.
based on where I'm at or what's happening or what's not going my way or whatever, what's the best tool to help me shift out of where I'm at, right?
Yes, and I love to have this repertoire of tools. I call it my oh, I lost the word. Where is it? My armory of tools? And so I just select the right one naturally. So I do these 3 sessions where I beat procrastination with people. I invite them to a free session for 60 minutes, and we beat procrastination. And I never know what they're going to come to me with, right? So this one woman, and I just talk to them, and we go on from there. So each of these sessions, it's completely different. And this one woman comes and says, I'm not actually procrastinating, but my clients are. And I was wondering what your process is, and maybe you could teach me something. Like, well, I don't have a process. I don't have a process because everybody is different. So I cannot teach you how to help your clients. So we found something that she was actually procrastinating on, and I helped her with that. But it's not like, I could easily teach you, because it's not a simple process. It's a bunch. It's a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So how did you know you could get paid for this to actually build a business out of doing this?
So that all came from that mindset training that I did when I decided to be a consultant. So I found immediately, of course, because everybody listens to whatever we do on the internet. So, the moment you think something, a commercial pops up. So it pops up, and I opened it, and there was this course for consultants. And the first 2 weeks of that course were about mindset. And it just blew my mind. And they were teaching everything about the entrepreneurial mindset. I became a different person just from that course within 2 months. I changed everything about myself. I learned that there's this victim mentality, for instance, and that's where they were teaching us also about high ticket coaching. And I knew that high ticket is the way to go, because otherwise you're just going to burn out. And I knew that I can't let my body go there again, because I had already been depressed, and I knew my depression was a sign for me to take things easy and respect myself. Yeah. So it just came from, within just a few days since I thought of consulting, this whole thing came like within a week, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hooked.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? I just so whenever you think something, it just shows up, especially with the
Yes.
internet as well.
It's scary. I mean, it's amazing when it happens, without ads, but when it happens with ads, somebody's messing with you.
Yes, good old retargeting.
Yep.
I love it. So, how do you work with your clients? Do you work with them in a type of one-on-one type of a process?
Yes. So my new program, it has been a little bit enhanced, and it's a little bit longer, because my ideal clients, so I used to have a 2 months program, but now I switched to 3 months program, because my ideal clients used to stay with me. So it's a program where we built this natural confidence, and it has moving parts, of course, many moving parts, and it has this backbone part. So I call it the strategy part and the tactics. The strategy part is we build your vision, and we build it the right way so that you can actually connect to your vision, and it becomes, I call it your lighthouse, and your why. And then we connect also with your ideal clients. So we define who's your ideal client, who's your audience, and everybody. Some people, they are just like, they know immediately, and other people, for other people, it takes a while, and there's blocks. So we remove those blocks. when you're looking for your ideal client. Then you build your offer, and the big part, the new part, is the money mindset. Because as long as you don't have that fixed, whatever you did before basically will stop you. Will stop you from effectively doing your marketing. On the way, you know, I teach them how to deal with criticism, how to get rid of fear of judgment, and basically everything that's on the way, you know, of personal development. And the way I like to work with them, I usually start. I always start a session asking them, you know, how was last week? Because we meet weekly, and they tell me either they have notes of everything that happened, because there's just so many things. I want every session to be a breakthrough, and I think I'm at 100% of that, or close to 100%. So then, you know, things happen and they start understanding how the universe works, how they interact with different people, etc. So and then we focus on their short-term goals as well. And if I see that there's a block standing between them and that goal, I know we need to remove it, because otherwise it's going to be in the back of their mind. They're not going to be able to focus on the strategy. And also it serves the strategy as well, because everything is connected. So I like to start where you are. I like to start with you, and then devote some part of the sessions to the strategy, and some part of the sessions to your current blocks.
Mm-hmm. So how, and in terms of how you work from your clients as well, so is it you have them set specific goals, or they come to you with really specific goals, and then you help them figure out what's going to keep them from achieving those goals, and then you kind of is that kind of the process?
You know what, the most difficult question that I can ask my clients or anybody that I talk to is, what do you want? So no one has specific goals set. I can guarantee you that they don't. So first, I expand their mind. I give them these exercises that just expand the mind, that wake it up, that allow you to be more creative and think bigger. I always need to get them to think bigger. So we do that. And then we define their goals. I'm always like, okay, you think this is your goal? I'm going to multiply it by 4 now, and that's going to be your goal. Okay. And they're like, yeah, this is actually what I want. Right. Yes. So within the 3 months program, usually they have some sort of an online presence, but it's not bringing them results. So basically I build them, we build the U 2.0, I call it. So the person that you need to become in order to achieve the success that you want. So we define the success, and we define the vision, and then we build you up so that you don't have the fear of judgment, you don't have you don't listen to your inner critic, and you don't have this fear that nobody's reading your posts, and you just basically take yourself out of the equation, remove your ego, and that allows you to connect with your audience. So they just naturally start being better at building that online presence, building the connections, getting the clients that they want, raise their prices, you know, and just start having this business that's either successful at the end of the 3 months, or they know exactly what to do. If they just continue on that path, if they know how to clear their blocks, etc., they will be financially independent very, very soon.
Mm-hmm. Love it. So what's the story behind this pillow back there? This is this colorful pillow. Tell me the story.
Oh, good eye, nice. Yes, this is the pillow. There's another one here behind me. I love them too. I got them in Thailand, actually. Yes. Mm-hmm. I got them in Thailand, brought them. When I met my partner, I moved in with him. Well, I was going to move in, but then I had to move in because the lockdown just locked me down, and I was planning on going back to Poland to bring some things, but I couldn't, and I'm still here. And so the pillowcases are the only thing that I brought here to this apartment, actually. So they are with me on the video. The rest is not mine.
What about the painting? Do you paint as well? I see a painting behind you as well too.
No. This is I think it's a print. It's a print of the moon. Mm-hmm. My partner is very much into space, mm-hmm. Astronauts. There's Chris Hadfield. He's an astronaut. Amazing guy with an incredible mindset too. Mm-hmm. And so I love him to tell me the various stories. It's very, very interesting, this whole space. industry. Entrepreneurs can also learn a great deal from astronauts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, with the moon, I thought it was gonna be like your partner as a werewolf. I was like, oh.
Fortunately, no. Fortunately, no.
And
I designed my partner before I found him, and I designed him not to be a werewolf. So
that's good. That's good. Love it. Love it. So awesome. So I guess the question now becomes if someone wanted to connect, what's the best way for them to reach out?
right. So I guess the best, I live on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to connect with me, just find me, Alex Tomaszewska. Will you be posting a link? Hopefully.
Yeah. So there'll be a
My
link
last name is
below.
Yeah, very difficult to pronounce. I'll remember. So Alex Tomaszewska on Facebook. You can just follow me there, and we can also put the link to my Facebook group, which has about 10 hours now of video content from me with tips on just various things related to confidence in online business, and it has my guide on how to beat procrastination and 5 easy steps. So I would definitely want to invite people over there to the group.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it. Love it. And guys, the links Alex just mentioned here, yes, they will be either above or below this video. So you should be able to click and get connected right to her. Well, Alex, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Oh, sorry, you speak so quickly. I'm like, okay, I gotta speed up my thoughts to catch up with you. Final thoughts. Oh my God, you got me there. Do I have final thoughts? No, I don't think so. Just come join my group. Oh no, I wanted to say I do 2 videos per week and then 1 interview per week, and I interview inspiring or extraordinary women. So definitely, if nothing else, just come and watch and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Awesome. Love it. Well, hey, thanks again. And we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.